has come. I said the time has come. From the four corners of the world, from the four corners of this ring right here, the fight starts now.
Really well. Canelo Alvarez is, a consistent pay-per-view seller against anyone. You put two Mexicans in together.
Yeah.
You put two guys, maybe a country that's a little bit split in supporting the new charge and the king of boxing. You put a guy in with Canelo Alvarez that comes on the front foot, that throws plenty of punches, that only comes forward. You've got an unbelievable all-Mexican war.
Eddie,
not a guy that's trying to stop.
If Canelo was doing so great, why did DAZN or Matchroom let him go in the first place?
Because we didn't have the opponents for him. The only fight we had for him was Dimitri Bivol, which we couldn't make because Bivol had a fight to do, and then he was fighting Beterbiev. So we couldn't get that fight made. Bivol wanted to do it at 168. Canelo wanted it at the same terms. So he had no choice but to join the PBC because they gave him a good path. But the path eroded. The path that was mapped out never actually materialised. And he doesn't want to fight a guy. He was disappointed with the Charlo fight because Charlo ran for 12 rounds. He didn't even try and win the fight. And his brother will do the same. His brother might not even turn up. So you can't, you need a reliable plan. And a reliable plan, even if you think that, Munguia, Berlanga, what about Benavidez? No problem. Like, when I've talked to Sal about Benavidez, the fact that people think he won't fight him, he actually laughs. This is a guy, he's fought everybody. He'll fight Benavidez and we'll do that deal to fight Benavidez. But he wants activity, he wants a plan. Benavidez ain't happening in May.
But if you were able to if you're calling out Benavidez, he's across the street. You could have been able to, when you had Canelo, why wasn't you?
Because the PBC don't want to work with anyone. And now they're fucked. Yeah. So you get to a situation where if I reached out to Benavidez, what the PBC do is they go, we're only making that fight on a PBC.
Okay.
We'll give Benavidez the opportunity. And this is what people don't understand. They're not willing to let their guys go on another platform to take a chance to achieve greatness. It all has to happen with them only.
Why do you think that? So how does Matchroom capitalize on what's going on with the PBC?
So what we do is we sign who we want to sign, but people who have the commercial value, not just guys because they've got a good name. Some of these guys, PBC have lost a lot of money on doing fights with those fighters. So you have to, the price has to be right, the business has to be right. But people like Benavidez, if we do manage to do a deal with Canelo Alvarez, we can do Munguia, we can do Berlanga, or if Benavidez wants to come and play, but when PBC do a deal, they only let you go and fight one of their fighters if you align yourself to PBC. What I wouldn't do to Benavidez is say, you can fight Canelo Alvarez, but you've got to sign a 5-fight deal with Matchroom or DAZN. I just want to see a great fight. Yeah. And Canelo Alvarez don't care about who's with who. He'll just say to me, this is what Canelo will say to me, Eddie, who am I fighting and how much?
Eddie,
how about Eddie in his fight?
Eddie, what?
Would you at least understand the disappointment from everybody if it is Berlanga next? He's a very good fighter, but he hasn't really fought anybody.
But at the end of the day, who is the other options? The only option right now on the table is Canelo never got Benavidez offers for May and all this big money that everyone's talking about. They said to him, you can fight Jamel Charlo, and by the way, the money that we promised you, we're not even promising you that anymore. He don't even want to fight Charlo. So he's got to look at other options. He's got to look at young fighters that are ready. If Benavidez wants to come and talk to us and make that fight, we can talk to him and make that fight, no problem. But if he's leaving the PBC because they haven't delivered on what was planned, you can't expect him to just hang around and wait on it. So Munguia, I think, is the fight for May. Listen, if Berlanga happens in September, great, maybe he gets another big win in the meantime. If Benavidez wants to fight in September, Sal will fight all of them. He just wants to be active.
What are your thoughts on that?